Joe Biden, because he painted a very clear picture for voters last night, saying this election is a battle for the soul of America. The former vice president celebrated with his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, after officially accepting the Democratic nomination to be president in Wilmington, Delaware. They were joined by Kamala Harris and her husband, Douglas Emhoff, and supporters at a drive-in viewing party.
But the main event was Biden's impassioned remarks to the nation. He pledged to unite the country to overcome what he called this season of darkness. He said love is more powerful than hate, hope is more powerful than fear, light is more powerful than dark. Ed O'Keefe is in Wilmington. Ed, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony. Last night, just like so much this year, unlike anything we'd seen before. As you guys mentioned, it looked like a drive-in movie theater outside, and when they liked what they heard, they honked in agreement. Last night, Biden tried to do two things. He wanted to explain how he would take the country out of this pandemic and economic downturn, and he wanted to convince Americans that the country can unite again.
The current president has cloaked American darkness for much too long. If you entrust me with the presidency, I will draw on the best of us, not the worst. I will be an ally of the light, not the darkness.
It was a moment Joe Biden had dreamed of for nearly 50 years. Accepting the Democratic Party's nomination for president, he vowed to be a unifier.
But while I'll be a Democratic candidate, I will be an American president. I'll work hard for those who didn't support me, as hard for them as I did for those who did vote for me. Decency, science, democracy, they're all on the ballot.
Just as speakers had all week, Biden attacked President Trump for his response to the coronavirus pandemic.
Just look around. It's not this bad in Canada or Europe or Japan or almost anywhere else in the world. And the president keeps telling us the virus is going to disappear. He keeps waiting for a miracle. Well, I have news for him. No miracle is coming.
The more than 24-minute address capped an extraordinary week that forced a rethinking of conventions, an American political tradition that was produced like never before. Outside the building where Biden spoke, the campaign invited hundreds to come watch the speech in a drive-in movie-style setup capped by fireworks. The night included video tributes from his grandchildren.
He likes ice cream in hidden ways.
Yeah. Eating it like in the freezer so that like my grandma doesn't see.
And his two surviving children, Hunter and Ashley, plus video of the late Beau Biden at the Democratic convention 8 years ago. Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth, who lost both of her legs while serving in Iraq, said Biden understands the sacrifices of military families, and President Trump shouldn't be the commander-in-chief for another 4 years.
They have a coward in chief who won't stand up to Vladimir Putin, read his daily intelligence briefings, or even publicly admonish adversaries for reportedly putting bounties on our troops' heads.
And without Joe Biden...
One of the most powerful moments of the night came from a speech by 13-year-old Braden Harrington, who has a stutter, like Biden.
I'm just a regular kid, and in a short amount of time, Joe Biden made me more confident about something that's bothered me my whole life.
And at the end of a historic campaign, several of Biden's opponents got together to reminisce.
You could think of this sort of like Survivor on the out interviews of all the people that got voted off the island.
That's exactly what it was, and if there's anything that should be repeated again 4 years from now, it's a reunion of the vanquished opponents. As for Biden and Harris, they now hit the campaign trail, but they're expected to do so mostly virtually. Aides say there are currently no plans for them to visit any battleground states, and that the pandemic will dictate the travel schedule. Tony?
All right, Ed, no one's voting you off the island. Thanks for a great week, and we'll see you next week. Get some sleep this weekend.
Good thing.